What's up guys, in this video we're gonna make some classic house steps like this. We're gonna create them in the really cool plugin from Arturia, the Jun-6 V. Okay, let's jump straight into the project. Okay, so I've opened up the Jun-6 V plugin. We have a basic sawtooth. I'm gonna use that. We're gonna go to the oscillators and select the pulse width oscillator here. We have a square now. I want to increase the pulse width modulation a little bit, so we get this more nasal kind of sound. I want to have a little bit of a sub oscillator as well, so we're gonna enable that, so we get a little bit more body to the sound. And the noise oscillator is really cool. It can add that top end to the sound. Sick. Okay, now we're gonna go to the filter. The filter is pretty important to get these cool stab sounds. So we're gonna decrease the cutoff frequency, so we get it relatively low to around here. I'm gonna increase the resonance because I want to have a little bit of a squelchy sound. Then we go to the envelope, and I actually want to modulate the envelope, the filter with an envelope, and I'm gonna use envelope 2. So open up the advanced tab up here, and we're gonna select for destination. We're gonna select the cutoff for the filter, increase the amount, and then I'm gonna create a really short decay with a little bit of release. So we get this. Gonna increase it a little bit more. Maybe add a little bit of attack. Something like that. Then we go to the envelope for the VCA. This is for the volume. A little bit more decay. Something like that. Okay. Then we can go to the chorus, because the Jun-6 V has that really cool chorus from the Juno 6 from Roland, just to get a little bit of a stereo width. Then we can go and utilize the unison down here, so we get a little bit of a fatter sound. I'm gonna go down here to unison and select 2. That's cool. Okay, and then we have the detune over here. I'm just gonna decrease it a little bit for the unison, because I don't want to have too much spread to my voices. Awesome. We can crank up the volume a little bit. Maybe something like that. Okay, so now the fun part starts. To create these chord stabs, the Jun-6 V has a built-in function that is pretty awesome. It's the chord mode over here. So we can enable it, and we go and select, and then we have these different chord modes. So if we select a fifth, gonna decrease the volume a little bit. So we get the fifth into the note. When I press it, it plays a fifth above that note. So we can actually go, I like to use the -7. And now the volume is getting a little bit loud. That's because we have added unison, and we're also adding chords into the sequence. And that's why I want to decrease the volume a little bit. So make sure that you're not clipping. We go down a little bit more. Okay, so I'm gonna try to record a small MIDI pattern on my MIDI keyboard, and we can use that to play around with for some effects and stuff. Okay, let's see if this works. That was a little bit of a cheesy sequence. I think it worked. So let's see what we have here. So I think I'm gonna just save this part here. Okay, so I played it without a metronome, so it's not quantized really well. Okay, so I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna speed this one up. Okay, so we have the pattern here. It's ready. Now we can go and play around with some of the effects. So the delay in the Jun-6 V is pretty awesome. I just love to use the stereo, put it into 1/8. It just sounds amazing. A little bit of feedback. So I just went and played around with the envelope just to shape the sound a little bit. Now we can go up to the reverb, just add a little bit. I don't want to have a too long decay. I want to turn down the size a little bit. So we have this. Okay, so if we want a little bit of extra movement to the sound, we can go and modulate the pulse width modulation with an LFO. That basically means that we are going to take this pulse waveform, we're just going to sweep through the waveform and change it. So we just turn this into LFO mode, and we use the rate over here. Just subtle changes. We can actually also go and use LFO2 to modulate the filter cutoff over here. So we go and select the cutoff here as our destination. Just to add a little bit of extra movement, we can use let's just use the triangle at a slow rate. You can go up here to envelope 2 and open up the filter a little bit more by increasing the decay and sustain. That's pretty sick. Okay, so I don't want to do that much promotion, but I've actually recorded an entire online course with the Jun-6 V, where you can learn everything that you want to know about the Jun-6 V. I'm going to take you through everything. So it's a 2-hour plus course where you can learn everything. So I'll start by just explaining everything that you can do in the Jun-6 V, and then we're going to create some sounds. So if you're interested in learning how to get better at using the Jun-6 V, you can check out my course. The link is in the description down below. Okay, so the last part that I want to do with the Jun-6 V is, now we have created the sound, I'm actually going to add a little bit of external processing to these chord steps here. So we're going to route this 1, 2, and empty mixer track in FL Studio. And I actually want to add a little bit of distortion because I don't have that in the Jun-6 V, and I want to make this a little bit more dirty. So I'm going to use the decapitator from Sound Toys. That's pretty cool. A little bit more gritty. And then we can add also one of my favorite plugins, the J37 from Waves. This one is pretty cool. It's a tape emulated plugin. It just makes the sound a little bit more analog. It just gives it a little bit of vibe, and I just like it. So up with saturation. It just makes the sound a little bit more old and gritty, in my opinion. I just love it. so awesome. This is a really cool plugin. Okay guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and are ready to jump into creating your own classic house tabs with the Jun-6 V. If you liked the video, it means so much to me if you smash that like button or even subscribe to the channel. Okay, I hope to see you in the next video. Take care, peace.